Hey, Greg, how's it going?
Hey, doing great, thanks. How about you?
I'm pretty good. I'm going to take a test drive with you, and I'm going to take my subscribers along for the ride. The subscribers to my channel, Fatherless Sons. So you're going to kind of help me out with this, okay?
Sounds fun, LaShawn. I'm in. What do you need help with first on this test drive?
Let's go ahead and plot a course to Best Buy, located on Vestal.
Found the Best Buy on Vestal Parkway East in Vestal, about 3.3 miles away. Should I set that as your destination?
Yes,
It's open.
please.
Route set to Best Buy on Vestal Parkway East in Vestal, 3.8 miles away, about 9 minutes.
So, welcome to a new episode of Fatherless Son. I am your host, LaShawn Wiley, and this is episode 112. Today, we're going to do something a little different. I want to take you along for a ride. I'm in my 2026 Tesla Model S. This is a long range edition, and I am using full self-driving version 14.2.2.4 on the latest release branch. So I wanted to take everyone along for the ride with me as I go to Best Buy, and I'm going to let the car try to handle this drive all the way there. I'm on Max mode. Let's switch that over to standard. And the parking, when I get there, is going to be in the parking lot, so that's fine. The reason I wanted to do this episode this way is because to me, Tesla is definitely cutting edge technology that I think a lot of people don't know about. And here on Fatherless Sons, I like to do a segment called Building Your Empire. And I think this is important and relevant to building your empire because Tesla is a publicly traded company, meaning anyone can buy shares into the company. And I believe with this type of technology, this is something that everyone should evaluate and consider when it comes to which company and which technology they want to invest in. Now, I'll start this video by saying that this is not financial advice. You do your own research based on what you hear me say and what others are saying. And you can decide for yourself if Tesla is a company that you want to invest in. Now, what just happened right now, my car just turned the defogger on because it thinks that the window can get a little foggy because of the temperature variation from inside my cabin and outside. So it just turned the air on or the defogger on to keep the windshield clear so that the car can see. This is really smart technology. The car does what it needs to do in order to function the way it needs to function. It makes its own decisions using artificial intelligence, AI. So if the car detects that the windshield is dirty, it'll automatically clean the windshield. If it detects poor weather conditions outside, it will adjust its driving based on the conditions outside, which is pretty cool. So like I say, it's handling all of the drive right now. I have not touched anything. I'm not touching the pedals. I'm not touching the steering wheel or the signals or anything like that. It will stop at stop signs by itself. It will gradually come to a halt, very comfortable, and it will make this turn right here. It's going to make an unprotected right turn at this stop sign. So it sees a car coming to my left. That's why it's paused and waiting for this car. And it should go right after this car, which it will. The car drives honestly better than I drive. And I'm a really good driver. I've been driving since I was a young kid, since I was 16, 17 years old. I'm 53 now. So that tells you how long I've been driving. And I consider myself to be an excellent driver, an outstanding driver, even. And I was, before, being exposed to what Tesla can do, I was the kind of person that said, I don't want a car to drive for me. I love driving, so I will just do my own driving. Until I had this car start getting really good at driving me around. I had a Model 3 before this Model S, and my old Model 3 had hardware 3. This car has hardware 4. And my hardware 3 car, it could self-drive, but not as good as the hardware 4, because the hardware 4, the cameras are more high definition. The computer is more intelligent. So the driving model on hardware 4 is just way better. It really is. I mean, this car, like I say, it drives better than I drive. And I'm a really good driver. It's not that I wanted to give up driving or I don't enjoy driving. I enjoy more being driven. That's really what it boils down to. So for all those who would say, I would rather do my own driving, I don't need a car to drive for me. Well, I don't need a car to drive for me either, but I enjoy having a car drive for me. It's like if you had a choice of driving yourself around, dealing with traffic and road rage, etc., or having a chauffeur drive you around, which would you choose? Sure, sometimes you may want to feel the curves of the road and drive yourself. But I would argue a majority of the time, you would like to just relax and let the car drive you. It stays perfectly centered in this lane. It never gets distracted. This car has 8 or 9 cameras on it. It has a bumper camera. I'm not sure if that's number 9, but it has a lot of cameras and an in-cabin camera as well, right here above the mirror, to make sure that I'm paying attention, because this is still supervised full self-driving by Tesla. But the car drives really consistent. It's not like a human driver, not like me or most human drivers who are distracted, who would be on their phone texting, who would get distracted because they're eating or they're trying to find out which direction to go because they're following their navigation. All of those things makes humans imperfect drivers. This car has all of the cameras looking in every single direction, calculating its very next move every single moment that is driving. And it is really good at avoiding accidents, driving around hazards, and just about anything you could think of, like a normal human would. Now, I'm not here to claim that full self-driving is perfect by Tesla, because it's not 100% perfect, but I would argue neither are you. I mean, how many times have you driven your car and kind of coasted out of your lane, or didn't come to a full stop at a stop sign, or made a left turn or a right turn and didn't see a car in your blind spot, but avoided an accident just in time? I mean, humans do these things and we all laugh it off saying, ooh, that was a close call. But the moment that a car makes the slightest mistake driving itself, everyone has a heart attack saying, oh my God, it's not safe. So I would say, watch how you drive the next road trip that you take and ask yourself, if you were being driven by a computer, how would you feel about every single move that you're making as a driver behind the wheel? And I know this to be the case because my wife is now used to riding in a car with me on full self-driving, to the point where if I'm not allowing the car to drive, she would ask me, why aren't you letting the car drive? Because you drive a little crazy, she would say. Because my driving is not as clean and as perfect as the car driving is, you know? So we're coming up on our destination. It's turned its signal on because it's going to make a right turn. So it's slowing down to make this turn. There's a car on my butt, but it makes this turn at 18 miles per hour as it's slowing down. So it detects that if there was no car on my butt as it made that right-hand turn, it would have slowed down even more. So this is what I mean by is watching every direction and looking everywhere, taking everything into consideration like a human would, because a human would make that turn a little faster when they see a fast approaching car behind them. Now, as it turns into this Best Buy parking lot, it's going to navigate the parking lot and find a parking space and park for me, because I do have the destination selected as parking lot. and it's looking for a parking space, and it's going to back into a spot that it likes. And I don't have a problem with this spot either. It's a good spot. So sometimes it would choose to back in. Other times it would choose to uh, pull straight forward. And there you have it. All right. So let's pick another destination real quick. See, I have reached the destination and it is putting me back in park mode. Let's get Gruck back on. Hey, Gruck. I want you to set a destination for Walmart for me, please. Or better yet, no, not Walmart. Set a destination for Target.
Got it. Navigating to Target at 3112 Vestal Parkway East in Vestal, just 0.3 miles away.
So I just set my destination for Target, and you see, I accidentally said Walmart, and then I changed at the last minute to Target. This is a large language model that's built into the car, and it's integrated into the navigation system only. So it won't control other parts of the car yet, but I'm sure that's soon to come. That kind of, technology can easily be enrolled into the car via a software update that I get frequent software updates for this car. But because Tesla does everything in-house themselves, this is the kind of integration that they can actually create themselves and introduce to the car without asking whoever created the software to make this control parts of the car. They can just do it themselves because they own the car, they own the software, they own the full self-driving tech, they own everything. So opposed to like a Waymo, they would, have to consult with the car maker in order to integrate these type of features. So Tesla is vertically integrated, meaning they can do everything in-house themselves from start to bottom, from battery to wheels to self-driving tech to the camera system to implementation. They do it all in-house. So you can see it just pulled me right on over here to the parking lot of Target. Now Target's to my right and it is making a left. So I'm sure it's going to swing around. It just decided to ignore the navigation and come this way. So sometimes it would decide that it's better to ignore the navigation and go a different route based on what the cameras see. So the AI, the artificial intelligence on the car is making real-time decisions and acting on those decisions regardless of what the map says. Why it makes those decisions, I can't really always say. Sometimes I can see it. Sometimes I can't understand why it would make a certain decision. But I've learned to just let the car do what it's going to do. And, I don't try to control the car and get upset that it's deciding to go one way versus another way. I just let the car do what it's going to do. And that's one thing that kind of, took a little time to get used to. Letting the car, it's like, think about it this way. If you're on the passenger seat and you have your son or your daughter driving you around, a lot of times you would want to nitpick and say, well, don't take that route, go this way. And, oh, don't take this lane, go that lane. Well, there's no difference here with a car driving. Sometimes I would want the car to take a certain route and I would, think, oh, it can take this route instead of that route. But you have to let that power go, let that control go, and just let the car do what it wants to do, as long as it's being safe, which the car is absolutely safe. If anything, it's more careful than I am. Like I'm a little more squirrely and radical when it comes to driving. All right, so it wants to pull right here, and this is a great parking spot, by the way. It's going to back in right here, which is a great spot. It just saw that car leave, so I guess it decided, hey, I can just park right here, which is pretty damn awesome that it can decide to do all of these things and avoid pedestrians and et cetera. So I'm going to pull down on navigation, which my home is automatically programmed. So I don't have to tell it to go home. I'll just pull down on the nav and just tell it to go home that way. All right. Saw that car kind of coming in pretty quick. So it it cautiously looked around or slowed down for that car. Um, the work that it does inside of parking lots have significantly improved from when I first started using full self-driving. I started using full self-driving at around 11 dot something, early version of 11. So it sees this red car peeking out, but it decided to take the right of way as the car didn't come out. That was the right decision to make. Um, so yeah, it makes human decisions, and that's because of how the model is trained and how the neural net is trained to control the car. It's not what's called C plus code anymore, where they would kind of use a version of if this then that, where the car will decide to do things based on rules. Right now, it's using its training that was based on video, watching humans drive to decide what to do in certain situations and how to best perform and navigate the roads. So it's using video clips of humans drive in order to learn how it should drive. This is why the system is so good. And because the system is so good, this is why I say this is something that I would say if you're trying to build your empire, and start your stock portfolio, this is a tech company that is definitely worth checking out. And I call it a tech company, not a car company, because really that's what it is. Yeah, it's more of a tech company. It's basically a computer on four wheels. That's what this is. And the tech on the car is what makes the car also so great. There's a lot of great things about the car. The performance of the car. This here long range, unlike the Plaid that goes from 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds. This here is the I think that's correct. Yeah, this is the long range model that goes 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds or so. So the performance in this car is really fast. Like the car is a spaceship. It's a rocket. And because it's electric, it's instant torque. As soon as you hit the pedal, it accelerates. So the performance on the car is great. The Model S has more of a premium feel than the Model 3 or the Model Y. And the Model X has the Falcon wing doors that come up. But recently they just announced that they're no longer making the Model X and the Model S anymore. This will be the last order that you can order it. And they did this in order to make room for the production of the autonomous robot called Optimus that Tesla is developing. So they have a lot of great things in the making and working in the works. So I think it's a great company to invest in and hold on to the stock for long term so that you can hopefully see the company grow and you grow with the company. But like I said, this is not investment advice. You have to make your own decision and do your own research to decide if that's the good move for you or the right move for you. That takes me to our segment of couch time and something that I kind of want to mention since we're on the topic of investing. When it comes time to investing and making money, I would say you have to make your own decision on how you decide to invest in a company. Some people let their principles and what they stand for as far as certain things and political things, reasons, religious reasons, etc., decide and dictate how they invest. Me, on the other hand, I think investing serves the purpose of making money. That's the goal of investing. And I make that my paramount factor when it comes to investing. So regardless of how I feel about certain companies or politicians, politics, religion, whatever, those things, you can have your principles and use those to guide you when it comes to investing. But my guiding principle is, will it make me money? And if it's going to make me money, then yeah, I'll decide to invest in a company based on that reason. But you have to do your own thing. You decide to switch lanes because I saw this car kind of coming in hot to my right. Great job. But yeah, if you decide to invest or not to invest in a company based on those things, that's your prerogative. Do as you please. I was speaking with someone that I was mentoring about this very topic, and you know, I mentioned investing in Tesla to this person, and they say, "Well, I'm not really fond of Elon," and I said, "Yeah, I understand that, but is your goal to make money, or is your goal to make a statement? And if your goal is to make money, then all of that noise doesn't really matter. But if your goal is to make a statement, then go ahead and make a statement. But you won't be making money if the company actually grows and make money and accomplishes what it sets out to accomplish. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to feature the self-driving tech on the channel today was to bring awareness to what Tesla is actually able to do. I would say a year ago, the software was not as capable as it is now. But because of some recent developments with the AI system and with the neural net and with its ability, it has significantly improved in a very short period of time. So the tech is amazing right now. I mean, I would put a person who doesn't even know how to drive in the driver's seat while I sit in the back seat, and I would be totally confident and comfortable in the ability and decision making of the car, because the car is that good at making decisions. So the tech on the car, it kind of spoils you. I don't have to push a button to start. I don't have to unlock a door when I approach the car. The handles pop out for me immediately, just knowing that I'm around the car based on my phone, because my phone is the key. It opens my garage door automatically once I'm approaching. When I'm leaving my house, it closes the garage door automatically. It drives itself. And like I said, the Model S has a premium feel. And the performance of the car is wonderful. My wife drives a Mercedes-Benz 350 E-Class, and it's a 2022. It's a great car. But at the time, Tesla self-driving was nowhere near where it is now. It's now at the point where whenever we take a road trip, I have to drive my car, whether it's the Model 3 or the Model S, because driving her car is, for me, not really an option, because it doesn't drive itself. And I hate driving what I call now her dumb car. I describe her car as a dumb car, because I have to push a button. Now, when I get in, it's a premium car too. It's a Mercedes, but I still have to push the button to open the garage door. I have to push another button to close the garage door. And there's a slew of buttons all over the dashboard and console everywhere. There's buttons everywhere. It's just so cluttered, and this is so minimalist. It's so clean. And I said, wow, this car, I used to love driving your car, I would tell her, but now I hate driving your car. And, because it's, even the assisted driving features that the car has, like lane assist and adaptive cruise control, all of those features, it keeps the lane, but sometimes it'll coast outside the lane and I would have to take over, or it's constantly nagging me to touch the steering wheel. Well, this car doesn't do any of those things, and a lot of people will say, well, my car can drive itself. My car can smart summon and meet me at the front door when I come out of the store. But, no, your car cannot do what this car can do. They're in two totally different classes, so a lot of people think that they're the same when they are nowhere near the same. And because they think they're close to the same, or because they don't really like or support Elon Musk, they'll say, my car it does what that car do, and I'm not even going to look at what that car can do. Well, there's only a matter of time before people would have no choice but to see and recognize and use the technology of what this car can do, because there will be a forcing function that happens in a matter of months, if not weeks, where people will have no choice but to adopt what this car can do. So I'm pulling up to my house right now, and it will chime pretty soon to open the garage door. There it is. There's the chime. There's my garage door opening. And well, the garage door is opening. It will, wait until the garage opens and then it starts to pull on into the garage all by itself. I still have not touched anything and it's coming into the garage. So this is what I mean by people don't even understand what the car can do. It's a great vehicle. And I would say, look at purchasing a Tesla, even look at investing in the company, because it's definitely something that I think will take hold as months and years go by. Thanks for joining me on this episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one.